This week's episode of WandaVision is brought to you by The Brady Bunch. Hi, this is TJR, and this is my review of episode 3 of WandaVision. But first, if you like what I'm doing, be sure to click a like, click subscribe, and smash that bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. Now, in episode 2, Wanda became pregnant, and at the ending, her and Vision's world transformed from the black and white of the first 2 episodes to color. Now with episode 3, we are smack dab in the 70s. Episode 1 was Father Knows Best, The Dick Van Dyke Show, and The Donna Reed Show. Episode 2 was Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. Episode 3 is The Brady Bunch, The Partridge Family, maybe a little bit of Courtship of Eddie's Father, but mostly The Brady Bunch. I have to really admire the dedication to craft that each episode of this series has shown thus far in its attempt to replicate the look and feel of the different eras of TV sitcoms that each episode inhabits, from the opening credits to the fake commercials. Episode 3 nails the groovy 70s aesthetic, or at least what primetime TV shows of its day told us was that aesthetic. The series also nails the set design of the Brady Bunch household that it's emulating. It nails the color tones of the time period and then amplifies it. It nails the scene transition flips. And it nails the cheesy 70s TV music cues that tried their best to sound like they were hip to what was the real-world current music of the time period, which most TV reality sitcoms of the day failed at. The episode's theme song, which feels more Partridge Family than Brady Bunch, also does equally well. It's amazing how well each episode is doing this because they have to apply a different mindset for each episode. But episode 3 really stood out for me, perhaps because I grew up in the 70s and was much more immersed in the period that episode is trying to emulate and only experienced the series' previous eras as reruns. So here are some of the things that I noticed. Just like in episode 2, when Wanda and Vision are pulled out of their home by the mysterious beekeeper, and Wanda hits the rewind button. When Vision starts to suspect that something is wrong, Wanda just gives us a disorienting snap cut that briefly made me think that it was a glitch in the streaming versus the TV show. Later, when Geraldine mentions the death of Wanda's twin brother Pietro in Age of Ultron, Wanda does the Twilight Zone equivalent of wishing her into the cornfield. And Geraldine finds herself violently thrown into what appears to be the outskirts of Westview, where she is quickly surrounded by modern-day cars and military vehicles. Now, initially during episode 1, I wondered if we would eventually find out that Wanda is alone somewhere, strapped to some sort of machine that is inducing the sitcom environment of the series into her head. But judging by how proactive she is each time someone tries to break down this warm, comfortable reality for her, it appears more and more as though it is Wanda who has created this meta-reality versus some outsider forcing it into her. So now, at least, I am deducing that Geraldine is working in the real world for some kind of government/military organization that is trying to wake Wanda up. So does that make them the good guys? Also, just before throwing her out of Westview, we also have the next-door neighbor Agnes questioning Vision about Geraldine and expressing concern about Wanda being alone with her. In the past 2 episodes, there were subtle clues that Agnes knew this wasn't the real world, but this is the character's biggest break from her sitcom persona to whoever she is in the real world. I want to add that I read Avengers comics in the 80s mostly. I am familiar with Vision and Scarlet Witch from reading Avengers, but there are huge swaths of their backstories that I am mostly unfamiliar with, and right now I don't want to be familiarized with them because I want this series to surprise me. So please don't share your Easter egg insights with me. And why was Herb cutting concrete with electric garden shears? This was such a bizarre off-kilter moment. I also want to know what Agnes and Herb were discussing before Vision said hello to them. Agnes and Herb are clearly aware that they are not Agnes and Herb, and they are clearly not aligned with whoever Geraldine is aligned with. And I sense that Agnes is concerned with helping Wanda keep this illusion. So what is her endgame? Anyways, those are my thoughts on episode 3. Please share yours in the comments. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters who are helping me make more videos. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, please go to patreon.com/TJRTheOriginal. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.